Your washing machine breaks on a Tuesday night. It's not dramatic. There's no smoke, no flood. It just stops. And you don't realize how much of your life runs through that machine until your gym clothes are sitting wet in the drum, your kid's school uniform is soaked and unwearable, and the repair tech can't come until Thursday at the earliest. Now, multiply that by 6 months of waiting for the right part, or finding out the brand you bought doesn't have a service network anywhere near you, or hearing the words, "It would cost more to fix than it's worth," about a machine you bought 18 months ago. This is not a rare situation. Yale Appliances service team logged over 33,000 appliance service calls in a single year, just across Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and southern New Hampshire. 33,000. These aren't hypothetical failures. These are real machines in real homes that broke down faster than they should have. Today, we're going through 8 washing machines you need to stay away from. And at the end, 3 that are actually built to last. One of the brands on the avoid list has been trusted by American families for decades, and what happened to it is genuinely infuriating. Stay with us. Samsung. If you've been in an appliance store recently, Samsung washing machines are everywhere. Sleek design, smart features, app control, AI wash cycles. It reads like the future of laundry. Here's what the showroom doesn't tell you.
Drum bearings on Samsung washers wear out prematurely, and this is a pattern, not a fluke. Door locks fail frequently, either trapping clothes inside or preventing cycles from starting altogether. When it does fail, finding a technician who will even service Samsung is its own problem. The brand's service network is fragmented, and in many parts of the country, you're left hunting for an independent repair person who may or may not have access to parts. One Reddit user put it plainly: if you want to fix it every 6 months, get the Samsung. That's not a one-off comment. Scroll through any appliance forum and you'll find it echoed constantly. When 7 out of 7 appliance repair experts surveyed said they advise against Samsung for reliability, not 6, not 5, all 7, that's a consensus worth paying attention to. The machines look incredible on a spec sheet and in a store, but the moment something goes wrong, and statistically it will, you discover there's no reliable path to getting it fixed quickly or affordably. Features don't matter if the machine doesn't run. Maytag. This one is going to hurt some people, because for a generation of American families, Maytag meant something. The Maytag repairman was a joke, a lonely repairman with nothing to do because the machines never broke. Older Maytag models from the 1980s and 1990s are still running in basements across the country. That reputation was earned. And then Whirlpool acquired Maytag in 2006, and that reputation was quietly sold off, along with the brand.
What you're buying today when you buy a Maytag is, in most cases, a rebranded Whirlpool washing machine with a premium price tag attached to a reputation the company no longer deserves. The engineering that made Maytag legendary lives in the past. The price you're paying reflects that legend. The machine you're getting reflects Whirlpool's cost structures. Repair technicians who work on Whirlpool-made machines, which includes Maytag and Amana, have reported an increase in gear case and transmission failures on top-load models. On Consumer Affairs, the Maytag brand as a whole holds a 1.1 star rating. Not 3 stars, not 2.5, 1.1 out of 5, with users citing frequent mechanical failures and poor customer service. One Home Depot reviewer described having to manually unload and reload because a balance issue kept preventing the spin cycle from completing. Every wash cycle, manually correcting an unbalanced load. That's not a washing machine. That's a very expensive inconvenience you have to supervise. The name on the front says Maytag. What's inside is not. Amana. Amana is Whirlpool's budget line. Same parent company, lower price point, even more corners cut. Machines run between $500 and $700, which makes them look attractive if you're watching your budget. The problem is the control board. On Amana's NTW4516FW top loader, one of their most commonly sold models, multiple owners have reported the same specific failure. The machine starts a wash cycle and then just stops. It never advances to rinse, never gets to spin. It just sits there with wet clothes in standing water, doing nothing. The control board has failed, and the machine has no idea what to do next. You unplug it, plug it back in, hope for the best. Sometimes it restarts, sometimes it doesn't. And the repair cost for a control board on a $600 washing machine often runs $200 to $300 in parts and labor, a third to half the price of the machine itself.
Repair technicians describe Amana as a brand where the fewer features, the longer it survives. The basic mechanical models hold up reasonably. The moment you add electronic controls and sensors, the failure rate climbs. Whirlpool builds Amana to a price, and at that price, electronic reliability was one of the first casualties. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, so it's the budget and mid-tier brands causing problems. If I spend $900 or more, I'm protected, right? Not necessarily, because the next machine on this list starts at over $1,000 and has some of the worst owner feedback in the category. The Samsung WF Front Load series. Yes, Samsung again, and specifically their front load lineup, which deserves its own conversation because the failure mode is different and even more frustrating. Mold. This is the thing Samsung's front-load washers have become notorious for. The door seal, the rubber gasket that wraps around the front opening, traps moisture after every cycle. In Samsung's design, that moisture has nowhere to go efficiently. Within months of ownership, the gasket develops mold and mildew. It smells. Your clothes come out smelling like it. You clean it, it comes back. You clean it again, it comes back again. This isn't a maintenance failure. This is a design failure. Other brands have solved this problem with built-in fans, vented drum systems, and gasket designs that allow airflow. Samsung's popular WF series didn't prioritize it.
And then there's the drum bearing issue that carries over from their top loaders. Owners in appliance forums describe hearing grinding noises from the drum within the first 2 years of use, a sign the bearing is wearing out. A drum bearing replacement on a front-load washer is a multi-$100 repair, on a machine you paid $1,000 or more for. One owner on Reddit, 2 years in, grinding sound every cycle. Repair quote was $400. Samsung told me parts could take 3 weeks to arrive. I'm at the laundromat. Frigidaire. Based on 2025 service data from repair professionals across multiple regions, Frigidaire consistently shows higher than average repair rates, and the specific failure pattern is one that catches owners completely off guard. The control board and electronic components fail early. Frigidaire washers advertise a range of smart features and cycle options. In practice, what owners find is that those electronics are the first thing to go. Machines that are 2, sometimes 3 years old start throwing error codes, refusing to start, or locking mid-cycle with no explanation. The deeper problem is parts availability. When a Frigidaire control board fails and you need a replacement, the wait time for parts has been a consistent complaint. Weeks, not days. Repair technicians in multiple markets have cited Frigidaire as one of the brands where getting the right part quickly is genuinely difficult. A machine sitting broken in your laundry room for 2 or 3 weeks while you wait for a circuit board is not just frustrating. For a family, it's genuinely disruptive. Budget Frigidaire models, the ones priced in the $600 to $750 range that look like a reasonable deal, are where this hits hardest. You buy it thinking you found a smart middle ground option. What you actually bought is the machine most likely to leave you hauling laundry to a laundromat in year 2.
Kenmore. Most people don't know this. Kenmore doesn't manufacture anything. It never has. Kenmore is a brand name, historically sold through Sears, that is licensed to various manufacturers who actually build the machines. Over the years, Kenmore washers have been made by Whirlpool, LG, Panasonic, and others, depending on the model and the year. The problem in 2025 and 2026 is that Sears, which owned and distributed Kenmore, has been in near total collapse. The brand has been sold and restructured. The service and warranty infrastructure that used to back Kenmore purchases is either severely diminished or non-existent, depending on where you live. If a Kenmore washer breaks down today and you call for warranty service, your experience will vary wildly, not based on what's wrong with the machine, but based on which manufacturer actually built it and whether anyone in your region services it. Repair technicians are among the most frequently called brands for Kenmore service, and the inconsistency in parts availability reflects the patchwork nature of how these machines are actually manufactured. When a brand's warranty service depends on which factory your particular model happened to come from, and you don't know that when you buy it, that's a problem worth understanding before you spend $700. The LG WaveForce Top-Load HE series, specifically older generation models with balance issues. Now, LG overall is a genuinely good brand for washers. We'll get to that in a moment. But their high-efficiency top-load models have a specific documented problem that generates consistent complaints: vibration and balance failures on large loads. HE top-loaders use a different washing motion than traditional agitator machines. Instead of a central post churning through clothes, the drum moves the clothes in a tumbling pattern with less water. When a large, heavy load, a comforter, thick towels, jeans, distributes unevenly, some HE machines struggle to rebalance. The LG HE top-loaders have drawn specific complaints about aggressive vibration during spin cycles, machines that walk across the floor during high-speed spin, and extended cycle times because the machine keeps stopping and restarting to try to rebalance the load. One owner described it, 45-minute cycle turned into 2 hours because it kept stopping to rebalance. I stood there redistributing towels 3 times. For families with heavy laundry loads, this is not a minor quirk. This is a recurring source of frustration every single wash day. LG's front-load machines are excellent. Their HE top-loaders have a specific limitation worth understanding before you buy.
Okay, 3 washing machines that are actually worth your money. LG front-load washers, specifically the WM3400CW and WM4000HWA. Yale Appliance tracked over 33,000 service calls and found LG front loaders carrying a 2.7% first-year service rate. That is the lowest of any brand in their data. Consumer Reports independently confirms LG as the most reliable brand for front-load washers. Those 2 data sources agreeing on the same brand is not something you see often. The WM3400CW starts around $799. At that price, you get a 4.5 cubic foot capacity, a 1300 RPM spin speed that pulls more water out of clothes before they go in the dryer, saving you time and energy, and LG's core front-load platform that's been refined over years. It's not loaded with every feature available. That's actually a feature. Fewer electronics mean fewer failure points. It washes effectively, spins powerfully, and based on actual service data, it's unlikely to need a repair in the first 2 years of ownership. Speed Queen TC5. This is the washing machine that repair technicians recommend more than any other. 11 of 16 appliance repair professionals surveyed named Speed Queen as the most reliable brand available. The TC5 top-load agitator model sells for around $999, and for a good reason. Speed Queen builds their machines in Ripon, Wisconsin, in the same facility that supplies commercial laundromats. That context matters. Laundromat machines run 10 to 15 loads a day, 7 days a week for years. When Speed Queen engineers a residential washing machine, they're using the same design philosophy as the commercial product. Simple, mechanical, built to outlast anything else in the category. There are no unnecessary electronics, no Wi-Fi, no AI wash cycle recommendations. There's a dial, a timer, and a drum that has been tested to outlast the machine it's installed in. Owner data backs this up. Speed Queen has the highest brand loyalty of any washer manufacturer tracked by Consumer Reports. People who own Speed Queens don't switch. They recommend them to everyone they know.
If you're done replacing washing machines and you want to buy one more for the next 15 years, this is the one. LG WM4000HWA with steam. For families who want the full feature set without sacrificing reliability, the WM4000HWA at around $999 to $1,099 is where LG's front-load performance hits its sweet spot. The steam function isn't gimmick here. It's legitimately useful for allergen reduction, for sanitizing kids' clothes and bedding, and for reducing wrinkles in fabrics that would otherwise need ironing. The Turbo Wash feature runs a full large load in about 30 minutes. The ThinkU app integration lets you start and monitor cycles remotely. And it maintains LG's front-load service rate advantage. You're getting a feature-rich machine from the brand with the lowest documented repair rate in the category. That combination, actual usefulness plus actual reliability, is rarer in the appliance world than it should be. Here's the framework. If reliability is your only priority and you want to buy one machine for the next 15 years, Speed Queen TC5 at $999. If you want reliability plus modern features and efficiency, LG Front Load, WM3400CW at $799 or WM4000HWA around $1,000. And if you're considering anything from Samsung, old school Maytag loyalty, or a brand with no clear service network in your area, read the repair data first, always. The most expensive washing machine you'll ever own is the one you have to replace twice. And the one sitting wet in your laundry room at 10 p.m. while you search for a repair number is the one you wish you'd researched before you bought it. Subscribe if this helped you. The next video covers dryers with the same level of detail. Drop a comment telling me what machine you're running right now and whether you buy it again. I want to know what people are actually dealing with.